Let's do it. Working out. Hey there. We got Pate's here. Peyton, she wants to help you out with some tips on how to work out when you have kids at home. So I'm going to just put this a little bit. We were in the gym. We thought it was only appropriate to be here to give you some tips on how to work out when you have kids. And this was actually a pretty important topic that a lot of people really needed help with. And I've been able to work out with kids inside my belly all the way through to John. How old's Johnny?
9 years old.
Yeah, you got some crazy hair going on here, huh?
He's been working out lots of days.
Okay. So we want to answer some questions, of course, for you. So first of all, I just want to give you some tips directly for myself, but then also from Peyton. This will be a very short periscope, probably about 10 minutes or so to give you some tips, especially if you're pregnant or planning to get pregnant, how to do working out while you are pregnant, as well as after you have the baby, how to do it, and then also when they get to be like this age, how to do it. So we're going to take some questions, not right now, so save your questions. Just let people know that I'm doing this scope, helping people be able to work out when you have kids and you've got a lot of other things going on. But let's first ask Peyton about working out. So, is it weird to work out, or what's in your mouth?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. She's been playing with Play-Doh, so I didn't know if that was in her mouth. So,
It's like weird.
it is. So what do you do? Like, is it normal to work out, or is it something that you hate? Like, what's working out? Do I work out every day? Like, give them some idea.
You work out every day to stay healthy.
That's right. You just do it to stay healthy, right?
Yeah, but if you don't work out, you can still be the same age. But if you want to work out someday, you can still work out. But if you can't work out that day, just skip what you do someday and then just do that.
Totally. Yeah. So do you work out? Don't tell me, tell them. Do you work out?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I do.
Well, you do your activities like Taekwondo. What color belt are you for Taekwondo?
I am a red belt with a good say in it.
Yeah. So a red belt leadership, that means you have one more belt and you're a recommended black belt.
And then you get 3 tests. So you gotta do 3 forms to get up to black belt.
I got my coffee, my husband just brought me home. Okay. So how old are you, Pates?
6 years old.
6 years old. Okay. So let's go into talking about how to work out, first of all, when you're pregnant, as well as when you're planning to get pregnant. We'll start there. Again, this is going to be a short scope. My name is Christine Dwyer. For those of you just joining, thanks more for jumping on. Make sure that you let people know about this scope, especially if they want to get pregnant, are pregnant, had a baby, and want to figure out how to work out with kids. Because I know working out with kids is a typical excuse as to why people can't work out. And I want to prove to you, by the mouths of babes, how you actually do it. Because she's been doing it with me right alongside since conception. So, all right, so let's go into it. First of all, I do have to say, of course, I'm not a doctor. I am a fitness professional, and I've been a fitness professional for 24 years, teaching group fitness. And my eldest son is 9 years old. So that is, of course, my experience with working out with kids inside and outside. So being a professional for 24 years, I also, right now, I just help predominantly people build a business with health and fitness, predominantly online, but also building leadership within your team. So that's what my job is. So I'm doing this scope as just a little bit of a tip because I think that this is what a lot of people are always interested in. It's funny because of being a visible fitness professional working for Shalene Johnson's company when she owned Powder Blue Productions. I was like the poster child for pregnancy. I've only had 2 babies, but it was funny because every time someone, like social media wide or somewhere in the turbo kick world that Shalene created, they would come running to me to ask me, oh my gosh, I just found out I'm pregnant, what do I do? So that's why I just want to help you out with this tip, because I was always the poster child for pregnancy, even though I've only had 2. So anyway, All right, so first thing I have to say, of course, I'm not a doctor, so I want to make sure that you do know that if you are planning to get pregnant as well as pregnant, you should always advise by the advice of your doctor to know exactly what you should be doing for your workouts. Because of course, they know your body, they know all bring in Shalene's video here. That's Shalene Johnson, Hip Hop Hustle, no longer, but we still have the videos, you can still do the videos. They know everything that's going on inside of your body, what you're dealing with, your health issues, your numbers, all of that stuff. So you should never really take advice by the internet and just believe that is gold. You should always be following the advice of your doctor. So now going into that, my first pregnancy, I was pregnant first in 2007. My son was born in March of 2008. And when I was going in to have my first consult with the nurse would tell me all the advisements of what to do. And being a fitness professional, I would film the fitness workout videos as well as train people to be certified instructors. I told her what my profession was. As a group fitness instructor, I taught like 8 classes a week at that time. And she advised me to walk 3 days a week for 20 minutes each. And that's what she told me to do. And I said, well, wait a minute, no, I'm a fitness professional. I do this for a living. I can do more. And she says, I have to tell you that we advise you to work out for 3 days a week and walk 20 minutes a day, and that's it. I'm like, okay. So then when I didn't listen, obviously, because I just felt that I of course, know my body. There was no health risk or anything, nothing of the numbers, like she's not telling me a reason. That was just the advice that they have to formally give. That's what she was doing. So I listened to my body. For my first pregnancy, I did not jump at all. I didn't do any high impact. And I listened to my body. If there was a twinge, I stopped. I subbed out classes if I didn't feel good that day, or in the middle of the class, even during the middle of certification when I was certifying people, something felt off, that I actually stopped physically what I was doing and I pulled someone up in front to be the example and do it for me. So that's what I did. I was just really smart about it. Now, when I was pregnant with Peyton, they say that you are a little loose on the second child. Is that right? Yeah, you let little things go out the window a little bit. So with Peyton, I felt amazing. A lot of the times I didn't feel pregnant at all. This little baby was inside. I didn't feel pregnant at all. That's a good question about how much did you gain with pregnancy. Is the first pregnancy I had, I mean, I think I was pregnant predominantly throughout the winter, so I was wearing a lot of chunky sweaters, going out to dinner a lot with my friends, and taking advantage of the first pregnancy. I gained more weight with that one. I think I gained about 40 pounds with that one. With Peyton, I was predominantly pregnant more in the summer. I had her October 1st, 2008, 6 years old. Oh yeah, so my son was 2006. That was my first pregnancy, 2006. She was 2008. I was predominantly pregnant more in the summer, so I was in a bikini more so. We had a boat, and that's where we would live. And I didn't gain as much with her because I just was in the summertime, and I just didn't do that. So it was around 25 pounds or so with her. But I didn't feel pregnant a lot of the times with her. I still jumped sometimes, and I was very physical, and I taught up to both deliveries. For my son, I had induced labor, which then turned into a C-section. So it wasn't dilating anymore, and his heart rate was starting to become erratic. So I had a C-section. So then, what happened is when it was time for Peyton, I said, well, I already cut one area of my body, let's just go for a planned C-section. So they cut you out of my belly, right?
I had you to read books in your belly.
Oh, you were reading books in my belly?
There's a library in your belly.
Oh, there is. Oh, wow. I didn't know I had books up in there. Okay. So that's how it went prior to. For the second pregnancy, talking with my doctor, I asked her, because I would actually get up and demonstrate an uppercut, because I was predominantly teaching turbo kick, and I said, is this harmful? And she said, no, this is fine for your body. That's what your body was doing prior to, so you're totally good. So I did check physically with her. So other than that, do we have any questions that's relative to getting pregnant? Hey there, Keith. Thanks for jumping on. Any questions relative to getting pregnant or working out when you are pregnant? Because then we want to get to the topic quickly about how do you work out when you have kids. I just want to kind of keep this for about 5 minutes more so we can go through that. This is a helpful topic. All right, well, let's go through. All right, so you've got kids, newborn. How do you fit it in? So she can't talk about that right then because she was a newborn. So how do you fit in working out when you just had a baby? Now, I of course had two, so I had a 1.5-year-old son and then a newborn. And I personally am not a person who loves working out. I know that a lot of people are like, that's my release, I love it. No, for me, it's just part of your daily life. I do it because you should. That's what you should, keep your body healthy, right? And so for me, it was a real bear to want to work out when I had her. I did Chalene Extreme. That program just came out when she was born. And actually, we were delayed because I was in a C-section again. And when you were 8 weeks old, we had to go in the hospital, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Do you remember why? Remember I showed you all the pictures of you in the hospital under that oxygen tent? Mm-hmm. And Mommy couldn't pick you up? Mm-mm. Yeah. So
you have to be under this tent.
Yeah.
And then you have to stay there because like you have oxygen. So like they're putting oxygen in your mouth.
Yeah.
So you have to be in a curtain. So they're putting this little thing on you for the babies, and they just cover your mouth with it, and then you're in that little tent, and there's that stone where it gets you air.
Totally. So what happened with Peyton is I was at my 8 weeks clearance. I was going into the gym to teach my turbo kick class for the first time in 8 weeks post C-section, and she wants to show you stuff here. You're gonna show them? Let's see. Show them. Show them what you're doing. That's her push-ups. Very good, Pates. Okay. So the rest of the story, we're in our home gym, just so you guys know where we're at. So basically, I went in to teach my class, and she was looking sick that day, and my husband took her into the doctors and found out that she was actually being rushed to the hospital because she was almost dying. She contracted RSV, which is a respiratory virus that basically decreases your ability to get oxygen because your bronchioles inflamed and closed shut. So she was actually turning blue, foaming at the mouth, and about dying. And I had to teach my turbo kick class because there was nothing else I could do, and I rushed to the hospital. And that was in the middle of the class when we found this out. Obviously, my husband was with her. And I rushed to the hospital, and I lived there for a couple of weeks. So I had to delay getting back into working out because I was in the hospital living with her for 2 straight weeks while she was recovering from RSV and, of course, rehabilitating. So I got back into working out for the second pregnancy after 10 weeks because of the delay, and I did Chalene Extreme and Turbo. But that was not I'm going to get in the video a little bit more. I don't love working out, and it was just a requirement. So how did I fit it in when she was a newborn and having a 1.5-year-old already? Basically, you have to find those moments of nap time. So they're going to take a nap, right? You take a nap in the morning, and especially when they're newborns, they're napping all the time. So the grateful part about doing the home video workouts for me was they were really short. So I would wrap my brain around Chalene Extreme thinking, okay, it's only 32 minutes. 3 minutes of it is warm up. 2 minutes of it is cool down. So technically, I'm only going to be working out for a short amount of time. So that's the way I got around working out, because I just did the minutes in my head and I really didn't want to work out, but that was what I ended up doing. So that's initially how, no, that is not very safe. She's putting her water balanced on a foam roller. That is not safe. So that's how I got around getting it off. And the way that I was committed to getting the weight off was because I told publicly that this is what I was going to do to get the weight off. And I told social media, basically, follow me, watch me, I'm going to do this. And that is the real reason why I was able to shed the weight as I was with her, because of the commitment of putting it out there accountable. But you have to fit it in when they're sleeping. So you either get up earlier, which is painful, especially if you're a nursing mom, which I was for 12 months on each kid. But then when they're sleeping, the accountability, like you said there, JJ, is let people know what you're doing. Because if you don't put that accountability out there, then it's easy to skip it and it's not going to take place. So now she gets bigger, and I was working out, and actually Turbo Fire came out. So you were like 2 years old. Do you remember Mommy doing the kickboxing workout in the living room and you walking around my feet and being all over the place? Do you remember that? Yeah, that's it. You just fit it in around them. So who cares that they're awake? And yeah, you're probably going to have to change a dirty pamper in between, or they're going to have a crying, fighting mess, or they're going to be starving, or something's going to happen in the middle of your workout. It's a second to go take care of what you're doing. So if you're looking at, I can't work out because they're there, then you have to really think about, well, they're there, let it be around them, that they need to see that this is normal life, that you work out. But you have to fit it in around them and just try to do the best you can. And if you have to stop to go get them a drink or do something, just do it and jump back in. Something is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing, and more importantly, it's an example to them. They need to see that that's real life, and that's exactly how it is. So now here we are. She's this age. How do we work out? So when I'm working out in here, what do you do?
I just come in and work out sometimes.
Right. What do you do on the workouts? What do you get on? What machines?
I just go on that, and then I pull up myself, and then I just go on that.
So she likes to do pull-ups on the bar.
I go on that level, looks like on that level.
That's right.
So I go there.
Right.
I will show you how I did it. So first, I did this, then I was like that,
Yeah.
holding myself up. But this is how I hold myself up. So I was like
That's it.
that. But your hand has to be like that, but it moves like that. So I had to do this.
That's perfect. Oh, Pete's are giving you tons of hearts. They must love that you've got so much muscle and
And then I go.
doing your presses and
So if
stuff.
I go like this.
All right. All right, that's it. So what other equipment do you do? So mommy's in here, and what does mommy do when I'm working out? So what am I doing? Well, I'm doing the elliptical machine a lot of the times. Okay. And then I'll lift weights. So we put the TV on, and I will listen to music, and I just lift my weights. I'll get on the elliptical machine.
To watch it.
What show do I watch on TV when I'm working out?
Funny videos.
Ellen. So I watch Ellen because she plays all those funny videos. So my point with all of this is, and her being the backup for it, is you just fit working in out around them. You just include it in the life because then they see that as normal and they want to be a part of fitness and health too. And they just think that that's normal life. Taking them out with you when you're walking in the dogs, and that it's just a matter of no excuses, because exercise has to be a part of your life, and being able to fit it in with them is super important. So do you guys have any questions at all that we can answer for you? Let's see if you guys have any questions.
You can answer me.
Oh yeah, you want to ask her, she said. Ask her. Any questions about anything with working out prior to pregnancy, post-pregnancy, and then also when the kids are bigger? Any other questions you might have? Oh, you guys are good. Okay. Well, I'm glad this was helpful for you. I'm actually going to jump on a little bit to give you some tips for those of you who want to be able to speak better in terms of remembering what to say. So for instance, if you're ever doing a presentation, or you're doing like a conference call, if you're doing a webinar, or even just a video like this. For instance, if you plan to make a lot of videos, to have your notes in front of you when you're doing a video is not really effective. People can't really connect so much with that. So I'm going to actually jump on in a little bit and another scope and give you some tips on how to remember what to say when you're filming your video or doing a presentation or a lecture. And I'm going to give you super simple tips that will make you nail exactly what you want to say. So thanks so much for helping, Miss Assistant. Appreciate it. All right, thanks guys. Talk to you soon. We're going to be doing a scope again on how to remember what to say when you are doing your videos, lectures, and other presentations.
So we're going to